Spotify Wrapped just came out and we need to talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophia, and today we're going to be looking into my Spotify Wrapped as well as the music I'm kind of listening to right now, because we all know Spotify stops tracking in like November. And for some reason, every single year I find a new artist at the end and it has no impact on my Spotify Wrapped whatsoever. But this year was a very interesting selection. I don't even know that I resonate with what it told me, but we're going to do a little look-see into what my Spotify Wrapped was, because yeah. We were talking shit about last year's Spotify Wrapped, but this year was just lazy. Absolutely lazy. It was not interesting at all. My top 5 songs this year were DTMF by Bad Bunny, Fire and Desire by Drake, Sexual Eruption by Snoop Dogg, In Your Eyes by Snow Allegra, and Homebody by Rin. Mind you, these songs I listened to in like the first half of the year. That's like the crazy thing to me, is like these were my top 5 songs. All of them great. All of them I still listen to, but the majority of the time I listened to them was in the first half of the year. And I just don't feel like that's a good overview of the songs that I actually did listen to. But my top 5 albums this year were Just Thinking, The Wicked Soundtrack, SOS, Control, and Blonde. That makes a lot more sense looking at the albums, because I would listen to more of like full album at a time rather than just individual songs. I think that was a better reflection of the music that I currently listen to. Also, if you guys didn't know, I have the Blonde album cover tattooed on me. He always has to be on my list somewhere, otherwise it's a disgrace to the tattoo, I swear. Before I get into what I'm currently listening to, let's rewind and take a look at the year. Like I already told you guys my top songs, apparently that's true. I'm looking at it right now. It's not surprising, like all of these songs I was very into this year. I can't really argue with any of these, honestly. You guys can scroll with me as we look through this together. So as I showed you guys my top 5 already, the rest don't really scream out to me like, oh my gosh, this isn't me at all. But that's the issue, is the top 5. Like the other ones make so much sense, but the top 5 just made sense for like maybe the first 3 months of the year for me. Definitely got into a lot more Sade this year. Probably her entire discography is on my top 100. I wouldn't be surprised. I really got into the NPR Tiny Desk last year, and I would watch the same like 5 over and over again. One of them being the Young Thug one. Yeah. See, we got all of these songs. We got lots of Beyonce. We got Pussycat Dolls. We got some country on there. Okay. Honestly, it's not so much like as I thought it was going to be, of like multiple songs from the same album. It's more so multiple songs from the same artist. I will say last year when the 2024 Wrapped came out, I listened to that for months because those are all my songs. Like, period, those are all my songs. So I probably will do the same thing. I also have almost 3,000 songs saved on Spotify, so I wouldn't be surprised if I continue to add more and my taste just continues to develop. That's usually how it goes. But overall, I think that it did a good job of narrowing it down. However, I will say that the top 5 of each category just didn't really make sense to me. Also, it's just crazy that DTMF is my number 1 song of the year. Like, I refuse to believe that. Not that it's a bad song. Like, I love that song, obviously. Not that I understand anything that he's saying. I did not think that that would be the top song. I feel like it would have been Sade or something else, but it said I played it the most, I guess. So here's the thing too, is like I listen to a lot of music on YouTube, and I listen to a lot of Sade and jazz on YouTube. My Spotify is only reflective of the songs I listen to on Spotify, okay? A lot of the things on the regular I listen to are gonna be on YouTube, so maybe I should be looking at my YouTube rewind or whatever the fuck, because now that we took a look back into 2025, let's see what I'm listening to at the end. We only have about 3 weeks left of the year, and somehow I'm still getting new artists and new songs to be obsessed with, so let's check them out. This is my current playlist I'm listening to. It has all of the best songs on it. I'm very much in this calm reading jazz vibe right now, so this is what I'm listening to. Also, can we talk about Olivia Dean? That's about all that I'm listening to right now is Olivia Dean and Sade. Adore Olivia. I think that she does such a wonderful job, not only performing, like every time she performs her songs, it looks like she's having the time of her life. Her stylist does an amazing job. I love every single piece I've ever seen her in, and she definitely reminds me of a younger Adele, and I love Adele so much. I have 3 of her albums on vinyl. I like grew up listening to her music, so it's so nice to have like a fresh new version of her that isn't all just melancholy and sad. She also has the happy-go-lucky kind of songs too, and I think that's what what we need right now, and I think that it's just very refreshing, and I love her music. Same thing goes for her. Like I said, with the rest of the music I listened to this year, I listened to her entire discography. It's not just 1, 2, 3 songs. I listen to every single song that she has, and I love them all. All right, we're gonna go through the artists first, and then each song that I have by the artist in the album. So I have Berlioz, Chris Standring, Cleo Sol, Coco Jones, Daniel Caesar, Go Appel, The Internet, Kerr Mercer, Melvin Pierce, Lauryn Hill, Olivia Dean throughout. We got Party and Drake, Paul Hardcastle, Sade, lots and lots of Sade, Snow Allegra, and Spandau Ballet. But you can see a very overarching theme of just this very calm, chill vibe, you know? And I just love this like neo soul era, like modern jazz. Berlioz, I think, has a great discography, especially if you're trying to get into jazz. I have Deep in It and Free Fall. It kind of mixes like house and jazz together, do like the incorporation of that into the jazz, and I think it's very unique, and I do really like that. Chris Standring, I found out last year is when I started getting. Chris Standring is one of those that really stuck out to me, and Liquid Soul is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. Honestly, I'm surprised that wasn't my #1 song this year, because it feels like that's the one I listen to the most. I have Qwerty Up and then Liquid Soul. Those are more of an upbeat jazz rather than like a slow jazz. For Cleo Sol, I have Self and When I'm in Your Arms. Cleo Sol's voice is just like butter. I equate her a lot to some of the other artists I have in here, like Go Appel and also Snow Allegra. It's just this smooth, buttery, rich voice in every song. I See You by Coco Jones is just one of those that when you have a glass of wine and a book in your hand and a nice, soft, dim lighting, you couldn't get any better than that. And that's exactly what this playlist is for. I have Cyanide by Daniel Caesar. Same deal. I have Closer by Go Appel on here. Again, she has that very warm, buttery voice, and I love this song. Same with The Internet. First of all, The Internet is rumored to be coming back as a group. Obviously, they all have their solo careers, and they never really went away. However, for them to come back as a group, I am so very excited. Hold On is the one I have in this playlist, and I genuinely love that song. I could listen to it over and over and over again. And also, I just love songs that are over like 5 minutes. Frank does a really good job at this. Next, I have Alcohol by Kerr Mercer. I recently heard this song on Instagram, and I've just been absolutely loving it. His voice is also very rich and smooth. I have All Day and All Night by Melvin Pierce. This is another one of those uppity jazz songs. It just like is so good. You just want to like... You see, I have Nothing Even Matters by Lauryn Hill featuring D'Angelo. R.I.P. D'Angelo, for real. I love this song. I love Lauryn Hill. She has the neo soul discography. Also, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of the most iconic albums of all time. So I have a bunch of Olivia Dean songs on this. Let Alone the One You Love, Loud, A Couple Minutes, Dive, and Time. All so good. The last like 2 weeks have been just strictly Olivia Dean for me. I have CN Tower by Party Next Door and Drake. I do like this album. I don't really listen to all of them, but I do like this song. I also have Sunshine by Paul Hardcastle, another one of the jazz songs. I have to throw in some jazz in between because that's the vibe that I was curating for this playlist. I would get into Sade, which is like 90% of this. I'm just kidding. But I have like half of her discography in this. Hang On to Your Love, Smooth Operator, Never As Good As the First Time, Kiss of Life, Cherish the Day, Your Love Is King, Cherry Pie, and then Is It a Crime, Sweetest Taboo, and Be That Easy. Be That Easy is probably the newest song that I've discovered from her. I genuinely love it, and it's the perfect like cherry on top for this album. If you take any song away from this, let it be That Easy by Sade. I have Snow Allegra, and I only have 2 Snow Allegra songs in here. I have Do For Love, I Want You Around. Both of those were in my top for like the last 3 years. And last but not least, I have True by Spandau Ballet. And if you don't know this song, you're a liar, because I'm going to play it for you. And yes, you do. Was I wrong? Thank you. Every time I hear this song, it just immediately reminds me of Sky High. I don't know if you guys watched that movie growing up. One of my favorite movies. So every time I hear this song, it just reminds me of that. It's a jazzy song, but it does have lyrics, and it's just really good. So that's my entire playlist and practically my entire Spotify. I'm really interested to see what you guys listen to. If you want to drop your Spotify in the comments, and I will totally take a listen. I'll leave my Spotify down below too, so if you guys want to follow or listen along, please feel free. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I will see you guys soon. If you haven't already, go over and check out Vlogmas Week 1. I'll link it down below. Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.